Hello everyone, welcome back to drive&rpm. Forget everything you've ever learned about cars, forget Germany, forget Japan, and most importantly, forget that old prejudice that Chinese products are just cheap copies that break easily. That is over. Today we are having a serious conversation about what is happening on the other side of the world. While we are here debating which economy car uses less fuel, China has unlocked a level of technology that looks like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie from 2050, or rather, from right now. In this video, I'm going to show you the definitive list. These are 5 Chinese cars that aren't just good. They are technically impossible for the rest of the world to imitate right now. Have you stopped to think why the United States and Europe are desperate, creating tariffs and 100% taxes to block these cars? It's not just to protect their industries. It is fear. It is genuine panic. If the 5 cars I'm about to show you landed freely at the port of Rotterdam, New York, or Sydney today, with the prices they have and the tech they deliver, it would be the end of the line for many traditional automakers you love, like Ford, Volkswagen, and even the all-powerful Tesla. China has stopped being the world's factory to become the world's brain. They control the batteries, they control the software, and now they are dictating the rules of automotive physics. What you are about to see are machines that float on water, cars that actually fly, and AI systems that make your smartphone look like a brick. Prepare yourself for the list of 5 Chinese cars that the world simply cannot catch up with. So, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and ring the bell. Let's get into it. Let's start by kicking the door down. The first on the list isn't just a car. It is a declaration of war. We are talking about the YangWang U8 by BYD. You might look at it and say, looks like a beefed-up Land Rover Defender. And that is where you are wrong. The design is robust, yes. But what lies beneath that chassis is something no Western automaker has had the courage or the technical capacity to mass produce until today. The secret here is the E4 platform. Forget differentials, drive shafts, and traditional mechanics. The U8 has 4 independent electric motors, one mounted directly to each wheel. This generates a combined output of nearly 1,200 horsepower. That is more powerful than most Ferraris and Lamborghinis on the planet, inside an SUV that weighs 3.5 tons. But brute power is easy, right? What the world can't imitate is the control. Because each wheel has its own brain, the U8 can spin the left wheels forward and the right wheels backward. The result? The famous tank turn. It spins 360 degrees on its own axis. Imagine being in a tight, dead-end street. You don't need to make a 3-point turn. You press a button, the car rotates, and you leave. Mercedes tried to do this with the electric G-Wagon, but BYD put it on the streets first and with much more precision, and it doesn't stop there. Its suspension technology, the defies system, is hydraulic and intelligent. If a tire blows out at 120 km/h, 75 mph, the car senses it in milliseconds. The suspension compensates for the weight shift, and you keep driving on 3 wheels as if nothing happened. This is military-grade safety, but the grand finale of the U8 is what makes engineers at Jeep and Land Rover lose sleep. This car is waterproof, literally. It has IP68 certification on the motors. If you drive into a deep river or a flood, it automatically activates emergency float mode. The car closes all air intakes, shuts down the range extender engine, raises the suspension, and floats. And because it moves in the water by spinning its wheels like boat propellers, you can navigate at 3 km/h back to solid ground. How much would a vehicle like this cost in the US or Europe? A Hummer EV costs over $100,000 and doesn't do half of this. The U8 delivers hypercar performance, tank capability, and limousine luxury. The world is trying to figure out how BYD managed to deliver all this and make it work perfectly. If the U8 is brute force, the next car on the list is pure intelligence. This is where Apple failed, and China triumphed. For years, Apple, the most valuable company in the world, tried to build a car. Project Titan. They spent billions, hired the best engineers, and in 2024 they simply gave up. Meanwhile, in just 3 years, Xiaomi, yes, the brand that makes your phone, not only promised a car but delivered the SU7. And this isn't an electric golf cart. It is a machine designed to hunt Porsches. Let's look at the facts that hurt the soul of the Germans. The Xiaomi SU7 Max has 673 horsepower, all-wheel drive, and goes from 0 to 100 km/h, 0.62 nmph, in just 2.78 seconds. That is faster than a Porsche Taycan Turbo S. But the Porsche costs almost $200,000. The Xiaomi in China starts at under $30,000 for the base model. The math simply doesn't add up for the rest of the world. But the reason this car is on our inimitable list isn't the speed, it's the brain. The West still sees a car as a vehicle. China sees the car as a smartphone on wheels. The SU7 runs HyperOS, the same operating system as your phone, your watch, and your smart home. This means total integration that no traditional automaker can match. You get in the car, and it already knows what music you were listening to on your headphones and resumes exactly where you left off. It is the human car home ecosystem. While Volkswagen and GM struggle with laggy software and slow screens, Xiaomi delivered iPad-level fluidity on a car dashboard. And the SU7 proved that a tech company can build a car better than a car company. This is a nightmare for Detroit and Stuttgart. If the SU7 is for those who love tech and speed, the third car on our list is for those seeking absolute power. Forget the Mercedes S-Class. Forget the BMW 7 Series. China created something to look down on those cars. This is the Maestro S800. It's the prodigy child of a scary union, JAC, an automaker that knows how to build, and Huawei, the giant that knows how to think. What makes the Maestro S800 impossible for the West to copy is the fusion of Huawei's hardware and software. We are talking about the Touring intelligent chassis. The car uses cameras and radar to scan the road meters ahead. It sees the pothole before you pass over it. The AI calculates in milliseconds how to adjust the suspension of each wheel individually so you feel absolutely nothing. It is a digital magic carpet. They took luxury so seriously that the car is immense, almost 5.5 meters long. It's bigger than a long wheelbase Mercedes S-Class. And the design, well, the roof features a projection of a starry sky that isn't just little lights. It's an interactive screen. But the ace up the sleeve is the Huawei ADS 3.0. While Tesla has been promising full self-driving for years, Huawei's system in China is already navigating chaotic roundabouts, without maps, without painted lines on the ground, just looking and making decisions like a human. The Maestro S800 isn't just a luxury car. It is an executive office, a private cinema, and a robot chauffeur, all in a package that costs a fraction of its European rivals. Traditional luxury brands sell heritage and leather. China is selling time and peace of mind through technology. We've talked about a car that floats, one that connects with your home, and one that predicts the road. But the list wouldn't be complete without breaking the final barrier. What comes next doesn't need roads. And the last one? Well, the last one jumps rope. Seriously. Prepare to see the XPeng Aero HT and the YangWang U9. The future is about to get bizarre. Until now, we've talked about cars that drive on asphalt, but the promise of the future has always been, where are my flying cars? Well, China answered. And the answer is the insane XPeng land aircraft carrier. This isn't just a car. XPeng calls it a modular land aircraft carrier. Pay attention because this is genius. The vehicle is divided into two parts. The first part is the mothership, a 6x monster. Yes, it has 6 wheels, with a futuristic design. It acts as a mobile charging station. The second part is hidden inside the trunk. It is an eVTOL, a giant, piloted, 100% electric drone. Imagine the scene. You drive the mothership to the top of a mountain where no ordinary car can go. Once there, you press a button, the air module deploys, you get in, and fly off to watch the sunset from above. When the drone's battery runs low, you land. The car swallows the drone back up and charges it while you drive home. The Western world has prototypes. Uber tried and stopped. Boeing is trying. But XPeng is already doing manned flights and accepting pre-orders. They solved the biggest problem of flying cars: range anxiety. Since the ground car carries the flying one, you are never stranded. This is NASA-level integration. And now to close our list, let's go back to the brand that started this video, BYD's YangWang. But now with the sporty brother of that tank we saw earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YangWang U9. If you glance quickly, it looks like a mix of a McLaren and a Lamborghini. It has 300 horsepower, goes from 0 to 100 in 2.3 seconds, and hits over 300 km/h. But again, speed is easy. What this car does with its suspension is witchcraft. The U9 uses the defies X system. It's the most advanced body control system in the world. It can lift each wheel independently, instantly, and with enough force to make the car jump off the ground. But why do I want a car that jumps? It's not about the jump. The jump is just to show off the strength. It's about what this means on the road. It means this car can take corners at speeds that would make a Ferrari slide because it actively pushes against the asphalt. It means that if you lose a wheel in an accident, the car lifts that corner, and you continue driving on 3 wheels without dragging the brake disc on the ground. Traditional supercar manufacturers say the soul of the car is in the noise of the V12 engine. China is saying, no, the spirit is in the car's ability to do the impossible. After seeing a car that floats, one that flies, one that jumps, and one that drives itself better than a human, the question remains, is the game over? If we are honest, technically, China has won this round. And the proof isn't in the sales, it's in the reaction of governments. When the US announces 100% tariffs and Europe investigates subsidies, they are admitting one thing out loud: we cannot compete in a free market. If the Xiaomi SU7 were sold freely in Europe or the US for $30,000, who would buy a basic Tesla Model 3? If the YangWang U8 arrived in Europe costing half the price of an electric G-Wagon but delivering double the technology, the choice would be obvious. What we saw today wasn't just a list of cool cars. It was a wake-up call for the old guard. Legacy automakers, Toyota, Volkswagen, Ford, spent the last 50 years perfecting the combustion engine. They are masters at it. But China didn't try to beat them at their own game. They bet everything on batteries, software, and integration. Now, I have a mission for you. I want you to go down to the comments and be honest. Of these 5 technological monsters I showed you, would you take the U8 tank, the flying XPeng, the Jumping Supercar, or the Huawei luxury office? Which one would you take home if money wasn't a problem? I'll read and reply to the best comments. If this video blew your mind about what China is capable of, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.